Hare Krishna. Today we are going to study the fourth verse of chapter number 6 of Bhagwat Gita as it is. The name of this chapter is Dhyan Yog, which means meditating upon the Supreme Lord. In the previous verse, we came to know about the two levels of Dhyan Yoga. The first level is Yoga Rurukshu, which is the initial level, and the next level is Yoga Rudha, which is a higher level. Today we will get to know about the symptoms of the people who have attained the higher level in Dhyan Yoga. Krishna is going to explain us about the symptoms of a person who have attained the higher level in Dhyan Yoga, because Arjun had a query in his mind that how will he identify a Yoga Rudha person? Krishna is seated in everyone's heart as Paramatma. So he came to know about the question which came in the mind of Arjun. And in today's verse, he is giving the complete description of a Yoga Rudha person. Arjun's every question is beneficial for us because we get an opportunity to hear from Krishna and understand straight from Krishna. Now let us begin today's verse by reciting the verse number 4 of chapter number 6. Yada hi nendriyartheshu na karmasva anushajjate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yogarudah taduchyate. Yada hi nendriyartheshu na karmasva anushajjate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yogarudah taduchyate. Yada hi nendriyartheshu na karmasva anushajjate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yogarudah taduchyate. Krishna says that a person is said to have attained to yoga when, having renounced all material desires, he neither acts for sense gratification nor engages in fructive activities. Yada hi na indriyartheshu na karmasva anushajjate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yoga rudah taduchyate. Today in this verse, Krishna is going to explain to us the qualities of a Yoga Rudha person. Now we will read the Anvay given by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnavon ki jai. Yada, when, he, that certainly, na, not, indriyartheshu, to the objects of the senses, na, nor, karmasu, to actions, anushajjate, one is attached, sarv, sankalp, of all his desires, sannyasi, a renunciant, yoga rudah, elevated to the platform of yoga, tada, then, uchyate, it is said. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that when a renunciant has become free from attachment to the sense objects and to the performance of action, then he is called Yoga Rudha, which means elevated to the platform of yoga. For he has given up all desires for the fruits of his actions. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, only those hearts have become completely pure are called Yoga Arudha. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that only those whose hearts have become completely pure are called Yoga Arudha. We must focus on these two words only, and complete pure. So it's very clearly explained by Chakravarti Pad that when a person becomes completely free from attachment to worldly sense objects, and then he stops all actions which is meant for sense gratification, plus he has given up all desires for the fruits of his actions, only then a person is considered to be completely pure and is in the elevated stage of Yoga Rudha. These three qualities are compulsory in a person who is to be understood as Yoga Rudha. We must understand it very nicely because Sri Bhagavan is explaining to us the qualities of a Yoga Rudha person or a Dhyan Yogi who has attained complete control on mind and senses. Indriya Artheshu means that they are neither attached to sense objects nor to actions that are the means of attaining those sense objects. Chakravarti Pad explains that every sense organ has a specific sense object. Like eyes want to see beautiful things, ears want to hear beautiful and pleasing words, and many times it can be flattery or false praise also. Then tongue wants to taste tasty, spicy dishes and wishes to say things of self-praise and achievements. Nose wants pleasing aroma and skin wants to feel pleasing touch. These are the different objects of sense gratification of the sense organs. And when a person has no desire for any sense enjoyment, then he doesn't do any effort which helps him in sense enjoyment and has no desire in the fruits of his actions. Then he is called a Yoga Rudha person because his senses are now only used for the service of the Supreme Lord and not for his personal sense gratification. He knows that all the senses and the abilities are given to him by Krishna and it should be used in the service of Krishna. And this stage is achieved by after going through the process of yam, niyam, asan, pranayam and pratyahar, which is the beginning process of Dhyan Yoga. By the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, we have clearly understood the symptoms of a Yoga Rudha person. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnavon ki jai. Now, we will read the purport given by Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada says that when a person is fully engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, then he is pleased within himself. Prabhupada says that when a person fully engages himself, then he means to say that when a person is able to see Krishna in every person, every living entity, whether it is an ant or a whale, a tree, a bird or an insect, then he is really using his eyes in a perfect manner. Then using of ears means listening to Bhagwat Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, because Bhagwat Gita is spoken by Krishna himself. Bhagavatam is about all the pastimes of Krishna and Chaitanya Charitamrita is about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself and had appeared in Kali Yuga just 535 years ago in Mayapur, West Bengal. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself in the mood of his topmost devotee, Srimati Radharani. A devotee uses his nose to smell the flowers and tulsi leaves which are offered at the lotus feet of Krishna. He uses his tongue only to taste the Krishna Prasadam and to glorify Guru and Gauranga. This way, a Krishna conscious devotee uses all his sense organs in the loving service of Krishna, and he automatically becomes pleased within himself, because when we water the root, then the entire tree is healthy and green. So in this way, a Krishna conscious devotee is no longer engaged in sense gratification or in fruitive activities, because he is fully satisfied within himself. But for others means who have not engaged their senses in the Krishna conscious activities. They must indulge in different activities of sense gratification, like watching movies, shopping in malls and big stores, buying fancy decorative items, eating in restaurants, etc., etc. Because no one can ever be without doing anything. In chapter number 3, shlok number 5, Krishna says, Nahi kaschit shanamapi jatu tishthatya akarmakrit karyate hyavashah karma sarva prakriti jay guneha. Krishna says that all men are forced to act helplessly according to the impulses born of the three modes of the material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. So it is absolutely definite that no one can stop the most powerful sense organs even for a moment. Eyes will definitely see something or the other. Ears will listen, tongue will taste and speak, nose will smell, and skin will feel. Now it depends on the Krishna, on the consciousness of the person. How he wants to use his senses. Senses will always be active, either in Krishna conscious way or in sense gratification way. Srila Prabhupada says that a Krishna conscious person does all his work only for the happiness of Krishna, and this way he is automatically detached from all worldly sense gratification activities. But for the people who are yet to engage all their senses in Krishna conscious activities, for them the process of Dhyan Yoga is being given, so that they must mechanically try to escape all material desires before being elevated to the top rung of the Dhyan Yoga ladder to become Yoga Rule, which means having a perfectly controlled mind and senses. In very simple words, if you need to understand in today's verse, we have learned about the three qualities of a Yoga Rule person. The first quality is this, that he is completely free from all material desires. Secondly, he does not do anything for his own sense gratification. And thirdly, he has no desire in the fruits of his actions. And any person who has these three qualities is a Yoga Rule person, or a person with stable mind and senses. And Srila Prabhupada says that all these qualities automatically develop in a Krishna devotee who strictly follows the 4 regulative principles, chants Hare Krishna very attentively, reads every day Bhagwat Gita, and has Krishna Prasadam. But if one cannot follow the rules and regulations of a Krishna devotee, then for him the other way to control the mind and senses is by following the various process of Dhyan Yoga, and by gradual practice of them, one may be able to control the mind and senses. Very clearly, it is told by Srila Prabhupada and all the Vaishnav Acharyas that by engaging the senses in Krishna conscious activities, one will surely achieve steady, stable, and satisfied mind. But by following the difficult process of Dhyan Yoga, one may achieve control on mind and senses. But it is a short-lived one. It is not permanent. We have the example of Rishi Vishwamitra, who had a downfall after 60,000 years of practice of Ashtanga Yoga. And Swami Haridas Thakur was untouched by the attraction of the prostitute as he was completely immersed in doing Krishna Bhakti. Krishna Bhakti gives us the ultimate eternal satisfaction and happiness. In today's verse, we have clearly understood the 3 qualities of a yoga ruled person or a person elevated in the Dhyan Yoga. And the first quality is that he has renounced all his material desires. And when material desires are renounced, then he does not act for sense gratification, and neither does he engage himself in any kind of fruitive activities. So it's very clearly for us that those who want to control their mind and senses, either we can do it by Dhyan Yoga, which has been explained to us in the previous verse. The 2 levels of Dhyan Yoga were explained, and in today's verse very clearly it has been told to us by Krishna the qualities of a yoga ruled person. Means after following the initial steps of Dhyan Yoga, that is Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam and Pratyahar, then a person is trained to do meditation. Then he starts with Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi, which is the intense meditation on the Supreme Lord. So these qualities can be developed, and one who has achieved it, surely he has the symptoms that he has renounced all material desires, he does not do any work for his sense gratification, and he does not engage in any kind of fruitive activities. Means he does not have any desire in the fruits of his actions. And on the other hand, a Krishna devotee gets all these qualities simply by engaging all his senses in the loving service of Krishna. Now we shall meet the next week with the next shloka, where we'll come to same mind becomes the enemy and the friend. I thank Srila Prabhupada, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and my Shiksha Guru, His Grace Harimohan Das Prabhuji, for explaining to us the most secretive knowledge of Bhagwat Gita in such simple manner. I thank you for listening to the words of Krishna so attentively and with firm faith. Now we shall meet the next week. Till then, keep chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Now we shall meet the next week. Till then, keep watching the video very, very attentively. Share it with others. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anant Koti Vaishnavon ki jai. Hare Krishna.